Guys been wanting me to change the theme song sound quality, but I'm gonna keep the same song, so here we go. This girl reviews movies, games, and books. Just how she plays them, and she does that. She does it with the cat. Does that make her crazy? Does that make her crazy? Probably. Hopefully that fixed the audio. Crazy Cat does not own any of these pictures or books or pictures. I use them under fair use for educational purposes, so the people who watch them learn a little bit something when they do it. Hopefully that fixes the audio. Like Solly did all those years ago. No, I don't want to do this. I'm scared of this thing. Please move it. Alright, how are you going, Martha here? So we got some Foghorn, Leghorn, some cartoons to talk about. So the first one we're going to talk about is one of the older ones, which I think it has like some first version of Sylvester in it, because it's basically Sylvester, except for the face looks different. And that is a frustrated Leghorn. In this one, it's mostly him fighting a cat that looks very similar to Sylvester, except for the face, over a worm. The cat wants to use it to like catch a fish, and Foghorn wants it because he's a bird. Why else do? Because birds eat worms. Like, he's mad at the cat, like, why are you going after the worm? And like starts hitting it like he usually does, and doesn't shut up. Even when the cat tells him to shut up at the very end of it, and he still keeps talking even after the short ends. Yep, this him fighting over the worm mostly ends with the cat like finally gets tired of him telling him stand up and take it like a man. No, he's not a man. He's a cat. And once he gets the worm onto his fishing pole, he holds it up to a gun to go back to the end, so he puts it in there. And then Foghorn is underwater and saying, "I say to you, how long do you think I can hold my breath underwater?" And grabs the worm and like, okay, we'll cut it in half. And the worm keeps on moving back between the halves, and they keep on Foghorn is thinking, okay, my half's gone, your half's gone, and he gets away. And eventually, like, the cat says, "Shut up," and he walks away. And then the cartoon ends at Foghorn like yelling at us, like, we didn't do anything, yelling at the audience. So let's find out who made this one. We got. Remember, I won't be able to find pictures of all these guys. So we got Robert Campen as director. Story by Warren Forcher. Produced by Edward Scissored. Starring Mel Blanc. Music by Carl Starling, Robert Stokester. Were the animators, Phil D. Lance, C.D. Markson, Charles McKinson, and Manuel Penson. Layout by Carl Wood. Background by Phil D. Gard. This one came out September 16th, 1950. And the next one we're going to do is The Sickle Chick. And this is basically Foghorn watching a chicken version of Dennis the Menace. Because they even say it in the cartoon. Like, how do these chickens and roosters know Dennis the Menace is? They're wild. They don't go inside the house, okay? Well, okay, normally they don't go inside the house. They're outside animals, so I don't know how they know who Dennis the Menace is, unless they read like the comic version of him. Because I think originally it was Dennis Menace was originally like, on the funny papers before it came a cartoon or a short, and then a movie. So I think that's how they would know about it, because it was originally on the newspapers, just like Garfield. I would have to look it up, see how would it start as. Let me see. Okay, so according to the internet, Dennis the Menace was originally a comic strip that came out in 1951, March 12th. The author of it, there's like 3 different authors. We got Hang Carter and Mark Hampett and Ron Clanston. So yeah, so basically this is because one of the chickens. It's basically, I guess you can say, this cartoon's version of Mr. Wilson, because you're a bit called who gets asked to babysit the little chicken by the mama chicken. Says, "I'm not watching your baby," or it says that boy's worse than Dennis the Menace. So yeah. And Foghorn says, "He ain't so bad, I'll watch him." And then Foghorn did not regrets saying that right when it happens, because what does this little chicken do? Little rooster does? It pokes him with a needle. Now I know Dennis was mean to Mr. Wilson all those times but I don't think he ever really watched Dennis. Okay, they were just pretty much next door neighbors, and this Dennis would just kept on like throwing the ball into Mr. Wilson's yard, and then he'd probably break the window. Mm-hmm. He would never cause something to Mr. Wilson on purpose. It was always an accident. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. Because he's just being a little boy. He's not being a menace on purpose. This chicken was definitely being a menace on purpose. And as far as I know, I don't know. I only don't him by that movie that came out during the 90s, but it made it look like he never really meant to cause Mr. Wilson any harm, according to that movie. But what he does to Foghorn next, like he makes Foghorn go into burns something near Foghorn's house, chicken coop, and makes him go outside, and he runs into the barn where there's a bunch of clay, and he falls down, and he looks like the Thinker, and he says, "Ain't no hobby, but it's a nasty one." Then he while Foghorn's sleeping, he cuts part of his camper and makes the balloon go up. And Foghorn notices that he's flying, and he says, "Hey, get me down from here!" Okay, he went down. I swear the voice they're doing here, it sounds very close to it sounds like his Bugs Bunny voice that Mel Blanc's doing here. Because saying, okay, I'm basically just watching a younger version of Bugs Bunny. Separates a chicken, because he sounds just like Bugs Bunny. It's very distracting. And he throws the needle in the air, and it pops the balloon, and he has Foghorn lay on a spring. Then he puts down a metal crate when he comes back down from the spring going in the air, and then somehow Foghorn has all his feathers pretty much gone, and this yells at him in the cartoons. And so yeah, so this was okay. Let's see who animated this one, and you can count this as a little mini brief history of Dennis the Menace, since I brought him up. So let's see if there anybody else did this one besides the ones I already mentioned last time. Has the same director as the first one I mentioned. Story by Ted Pierce. Produced by David H.D. Patsy. Starring, not to spell blank, Julie Bennett. Music by Me Franklin. Animated by Ted Morkston. Moreland Patler. Kent Darling. And George Grantley. Layout and background by Robert Burke. And this one came out July 21st to 1962. So that's it. So hope you guys enjoyed that. And I say, like, favorite, and subscribe. Bye-bye.